Since I want to complete this cave, I'm recording this part immediately after I save part 74. So, I'm pretty much done here. I'm going to backtrack out of here back to the Pokemon Center, heal up, and then I'm going to come back in here once the tide is low. But unfortunately, I'm going to have to bench one of my Pokemon because I know for a fact there's a Strength Boulder in here, so yeah, I gotta do that. And after thinking it over, I think I'm going to bench Sceptile. I mean, yeah, I know Sceptile can handle whatever is in here, like say a Seal and Spheal, but the problem is not all the Pokemon in here are part Water type. Not to mention the fact that not all the Pokemon in here are Ice type, such as Golbat, because yes, Golbat is in here, as well as the occasional Delibird. So yeah, I'm going to have to bench Sceptile. Actually, my first intuition was benching Ninetales, but I'm pretty sure Ninetales can handle whatever is inside the Shoal Cave. I mean, I know for a fact that Spheal has thick fats, but I don't think it's going to matter all that much since Ninetales is at a pretty high level. So yeah, I really hope I'm right because yeah, I think this is the perfect opportunity to give Ninetales some experience points. Because yeah, like I said, it's pretty much sea travel from here on out, and I don't think Ninetales is going to get all that much experience points. Even though, like I said, I'm pretty sure not all the Pokemon I'm going to be facing at sea is going to be Water types. So I just want Ninetales to gain some experience points. Okay, I'm going to put Tropius in my party and replace Sceptile. Okay, now I'm going to put Tropius at the bottom of my party since I like my HM users that way. Okay, now I'm going to go surf back to the entrance of Shoal Cave, and then I'm going to cut the video so that way you don't have to wait so long, so that way the tide goes down too low. Yeah, the low tide, it's going to be a lot longer than the high tide since, yeah, there's a whole lot more in the low tide area than there was in the high tide. Okay, the entrance is right over there, so I'm just going to perch myself by the entrance and cut the video. Okay, see you when the tide is low. The time is now to enter the Shoal Cave once again to take on the low tide, and as you can imagine, the pacing is going to be slow because of all the random encounters. Yeah, like that. Well, random encounter right off the bat. Well, as you can imagine, yeah, that's bound to happen since, yeah, every tile you step on, there's bound to be a wild encounter. So, I guess I'm going to use Regice throughout the entire place until it runs out of either Thunderbolts or Ice Beam Power Points, and when that does happen, I guess I'll switch over to Ninetales and see what it can do. Since Regice is still at a pretty low level, still, I still want to have it gain some experience points, maybe even at least one level. If it does gain one level, then I guess I'll switch over to Ninetales so that way it can gain some experience points. Okay, well, I'm going through this place, I might as well come back to Scarlet and Violet for a second because, yeah, I'm always thinking about some of the Pokemon we could possibly see there, such as the early game flying type. Well, I took a look online to see if there was any birds native to Spain, and, well, I didn't exactly get what I wanted. So yeah, whatever bird they decide to throw in Scarlet and Violet, hopefully it's a good one. Well, actually, when that does happen, I don't plan on using the early game flying type, even though sometimes I do that. It all depends on the stats. It's just a pretty nice thing to know what bird Pokemon you're going to encounter in a new game. I mean, for the longest time, I'm not really sure if ravens are exclusive to Britain or anything, because I don't really read anything about other countries and whatever birds appear in that certain country. So yeah, looking at Corviknight for a second, yeah, I'm not really sure if ravens really appear in Britain or anything. Okay, there's a staircase where you would have gone up if the tide was high. Yeah, I don't know about you, but I do love seeing those staircases when I'm walking around in the low tide. Oh, there's Celio. Well, I guess this proves my point. You can find Celio here, even though it's not in the water where it should be. Yeah, like I said, I did use Walrein in the past, but I'll be honest, it's better off being used in future generations where it gets used to its full potential. I mean, I remember one time where I was sort of at the mercy of a Walrein. Oh, that cave entrance there, well, that only leads to a dead end, so I'm not going to enter inside there. Okay, as I was saying, I was at the mercy of a Walrein whenever I was inside the Battle Tower or the Battle Subway because it had these 4 moves: Fissure, Sheer Cold, Rest, and Sleep Talk. Yeah, that thing was a huge pain in my ass. Occasionally I did get rid of it, and sometimes it got the better of me. It was usually it getting the better of me because, yeah, I really hate encountering that thing. I mean, I'm not really sure how many of you play the Battle Tower or the Battle Subway, but Yeah, you gotta agree with me on that when it's really annoying when you encounter that certain wall rain with those two one-hit KO moves. Okay, this is the area where I find the Shoal Salt just as soon as I get past this wild encounter. So yeah, actually I believe Cheryl, yeah, you know her, the one from Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, I think she used a similar moveset like that. Actually, I think it was in Platinum, believe it or not, because, yeah, do you remember fighting alongside Cheryl at the Battle Tower, and she used a wall rain with that exact same moveset. And I'm not ashamed to admit it, but I did use that same moveset as well, and yeah, I'm not really sure what I was thinking when I did that. Okay, there's the first Shoal Salt, and as well as an Ice Heal. I gotta say, the wild encounters here are pretty hefty, actually. Well, all the more time to talk about Scarlet and Violet and my experiences with that accursed wall rain. Well, after the battle subway, I never really ended up going back into those places where you test your skill and everything. Not the battle tree, and not those other places where you do all sorts of battling and whatnot. Well, actually, that one battle facility in Sword and Shield, I guess you could say I got pretty far there, since, well, if you lose that place, then I guess you can go back to the spot that you were at when you lost. Whereas in other games, yeah, you can't do that, and that's pretty annoying. Okay, back to Scarlet and Violet for a second. Well, as far as the bird Pokemon goes, well, whatever they throw in there, hopefully it's a good bird Pokemon, and something that's native to Spain. But as for the early game bug type, well, I'm not really interested in searching on certain insects and whatnot. Well, whatever the bug type is, I'm probably not going to use it, although I could change my mind actually, since at one point I did use Butterfree throughout the entirety of Pokemon Yellow, and yeah, I guess it served me well. Hey, don't knock until you try it, that's what I always say. But as for those other bug types, well, I never really used them all that much. Well, actually, I did use Beautifly in, I believe it was Pokemon Ruby, actually. Yeah, it didn't really get me all that far since I kind of lost interest in it. Not to mention the fact that that thing doesn't really get a whole lot of good level up moves. Well, in future generations, well, I guess you can give it whatever it wants, like say Shadow Ball or Psychic or Energy Ball. Well, in generations like that, getting access to Energy Ball is almost impossible since that move is so far flunked into the game. Yeah, odds are you're probably not going to use Butterfree at that point. But as for those other early game bug types, well, I haven't really played Gen 6 and Gen 7 for quite a while, so yeah, I didn't really get to experience Vivillon or what was that other one? Vigavolt? Yeah, Vigavolt, or whatever it's supposed to be called. I think some people actually pronounce it a different way. Okay, I was about to say, that guy over there, that black belt, he's going to give me an item called the Focus Band. So what that does is, if you put it on your Pokemon, then it has a 10% chance of preventing your Pokemon from dying. Yeah, so I guess you could say it's sort of like a Focus Sash, except that the Focus Sash can save you from dying even if you're not at full HP. Only 10% of the time. But I'll be honest, I don't think you should use this item because, yeah, it's only 10% that the Focus Band can save you. I mean, yeah, I actually did use this in the past when I fought Rayquaza, and yeah, I don't really like this item all that much. So I guess I'll just put that in my PC. I guess you could say I'm more of a Focus Sash person, even though I don't really see the Focus Sash all that much. Okay, I believe there's something on that staircase that I'm about to go to before I got interrupted by this wild Golbat. So yeah, whatever bug type does appear in Scarlet and Violet, well, hopefully it's a pretty unique combination, because the way I see it, we got some pretty unique typing combinations over the years in regards to those bug types. Bug Psychic, I'm not really sure if there's another Bug Psychic out there aside from Orbeetle, or maybe there is one and I just don't remember. Well, not that I care that much anyway, because I don't really use the early game bug type throughout the entire game. Even though I did say all those instances where I did. As for the water types of Scarlet and Violet, hopefully some of them are pretty good, because, well, occasionally I don't really use a new Pokemon. Whenever a new Pokemon game comes out, I guess I just like using the old Pokemon that I do find. But if it was to the point where the game's just going to be nothing but new Pokemon, just like it was back in Black and White when it first came out, then I'll have to see what the stats are, so that way maybe I might use them. But since I know that there's going to be some previous Pokemon from previous generations coming back into Scarlet and Violet, hopefully whatever appears there will be kind of usable. Okay, I think I used up my last Ice Beam PowerPoint, so I guess I'm going to switch over to Ninetales. Okay, let me just check real quick. Oh, actually no, wait, I only have one Ice Beam PowerPoint left. Okay, why did I think I have 0? Oh, wow, I was just about to pick up this Shoal Salts. Yeah, I'm always about to say Shoal Shell because, yeah, last video, I think I got a little bit of a tongue-tied or tongue-twistered when I was saying those two words all together. Yeah, so excuse me if that does happen. I guess I don't really say those two words all that much. For some reason, I think I did see the Shoal Salt and the Shoal Shell make a comeback in other games, but you can't turn them into Shell Bells. I think you could just sell them for money. I believe that was in Black and White, actually. I believe a certain somebody does give you the Shoal Salt or the Shoal Shell. I believe, I don't quite remember what route it was on, but I do remember it was on a specific route after you beat the Elite Four. Okay, let me see if this Ice Beam can one-shot this Piloswine. Okay, yes it does. Okay, now that I'm out of Ice Beams, I'm going to switch over to Ninetales. Skarmory could be an option, but I want to have Ninetales gain some experience points since I guess Skarmory can hold its own when it comes to those water routes. So yeah, looking at all the new Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet, well, hopefully they make some good typing combinations because, to be honest, there's a lot of type combinations that they haven't used quite yet. I mean, I want to name them, but I can't really name some of them off the top of my head. Well, for one thing, Normal Ghost, that made its first appearance in Legends Arceus, but I'm not really sure if they're going to go for that again. And as for some other typings, well, I guess some people could maybe think of some dual typings that have never been used quite yet. Okay, I'm just gonna shift to something else for a second, because I did say previously that now that the two legendaries have been revealed, all that matters is maybe thinking about the third legendary, as I picked up the fourth and final Shoal Salt. Okay, but before I leave here, there's one other area that I'm going to explore that you can only explore when the tide is low. It's a pretty icy area, which is all the way down here. Okay, this is the only area where you can find Snorunt, believe it or not. So yeah, if you want to pick up Snorunt, then this is the place to be. Okay, this ice puzzle here is not very hard, even though for some reason I guess some people do kind of struggle with the ice puzzles for some reason. Okay, there's Snorunt right now. But I'm not going to use Snorunt in this Let's Play since, well, I did use Snorunt in the past, and it was kind of a pain in the ass to raise up since all of its stats are just 50 across the board, so naturally, it was kind of hard to keep this thing from getting killed. Yeah, not only that, I don't think Glalie is all that great anyway, even though its move pool, I guess it's a pretty decent move pool. It can learn things like, say, Shadow Ball and Earthquake. But yeah, other than that, I don't think Glalie is that good of a Pokemon. Which is why they invented Frostlass. Okay, so let me see if Flamethrower can one-shot this field, despite the fact that it has thick fats. Alright, perfect. Well, if I do encounter a Celio down here, which I'm not really sure if that's possible, I don't know if I can one-shot a Celio with Flamethrower. Well, we'll have to see if I do encounter a Celio down here, which I'm not really sure if that is the case. Anyway, back to the legendaries for a second. Well, there's still the matter of the third legendary, aside from Koraidon and Miraidon. I heard reports of maybe the third legendary looking like some sort of butterfly or something. I'm not really sure where I heard that from, but it's just a rumor. Yeah, we don't know if that's true yet. Oh, Never Melt Ice. I was going to give that to Regice, but I did say I was going to give it a Shell Bell once I get this place, so yeah, I guess maybe I'll put the Never Melt Ice in my PC, as I encounter a Jinx over here. Oh yeah, you can also find Jinx down here too, I forgot to mention that. Actually, I didn't forget, I just wanted to wait until I got this icy area, so that way I could say that you can find Jinx down here. Oh yes, if you were playing Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, there would be an Icy Rock down here. Not the little item, but an Ice Rock, so that way you could evolve Eevee into Glaceon. But since this is not that one particular game, yeah, that's not going to be the case. Okay, I'm just going to run away from this field and call it a day. Okay, with that, more of this place next time. So join me then.